What's the most ridiculous reason for which you've been dumped? I bought my GF1 of the World of Warcraft expansion packs for her birthday. She started playing again, like she really got into it, and I hardly saw her. She'd play all night and would come to bed as I was getting up. To be clear, that made me want to dump her. But what ended up happening was she started playing with her ex and it apparently rekindled their feelings for each other, because she dumped me after a couple of weeks of this shit and got back with him. But by that time he had moved away, so their relationship was entirely limited to playing questing or some shit. And then they broke up again after like a month of this. At the time it was horrible. But now I can't help but laugh. TLDR ex dumped me for a mage. My ex's cat was named Ben. The girl I was dating's cat was named Bundles. One day, I called Bundles Ben. She asked me what I just called her cat. I thought about it, and then remembered that was my ex's cat's name. I laughed and told her and she was super unimpressed. Broke up with me the next day. We have to break up. I mean, we can't even get married. You're allergic to fish. She chose the occasional tuna sandwich over me. I laughed and still tell the story, so I guess it's a win. I love you so much and want to spend the rest of my life with you. We have to break up. If it's really meant to be, then we will end up together again like they do in the movies. I got dumped because the headlights on my car didn't come on automatically when I started my car. I'm assuming he had other reasons. But this is what I was told. And I love laughing at it. Shared this before here, but this has and will always take the cake for me. College GF's dad won $1 million in the state lottery over winter break. Broke up with me over the phone, telling me, now that I'm rich, I can't afford to date regular people like you. That's really the only thing wrong. You're just regular. She found out the truck I was driving was owned by my mom. The guy the first was dating broke up with me cause he had family problems. I was all like, I'm so sorry. I'm here if you need me. 2 days later I find out he lied and asked out one of my best friends and she said yes. About a week later I asked him why he dumped me and he left me on read. I was too clingy. She got mad every time I hung out with anyone that wasn't her. Made a girl smile too much. She had braces and it cut up the inside of her mouth. After going out with this guy for 6 months I asked him if we were dating and he immediately ghosted me. Edit. Yes. We were both full-grown adults. Late 20s. And yes, he had issues. I don't feel a spark of anything when we kiss anymore. At that time I got hit in the mouth with a bat and couldn't kiss her for the past month. If you didn't want to be with me, just say it, or at least come up with a better lie to dump me over. Edit for backstory. Freshman, me, and senior, her, broke up over the weekend and the following Monday I took an aluminum bat. It was an old bat. To the backyard to take some frustration out on some tree branches and firewood pile. The thickest one bounced the bat back at me and it hit me with lightning speed. Broke 4 teeth and stayed home from school the next day. Senior GF noticed I wasn't in class and asked our mutual friend what happened to me, and she explained to my freshly ex-GF. That day she texted me after school that she wanted to get back together. We stayed together for a few weeks while I was healing and she thought my lisp was cute, and out of nowhere one day she said the infamous words, "We need to talk," and said she didn't feel anything when we kiss anymore. In my head I was thinking, bitch, we ain't kissed since my mouth got broke, but I took it like a man and went along with it. The next week she started dating a girl that had a big crush on her. We went to rival colleges and I had graduated from the bad one. Yep. The girl told me she thought this boy who she had a crush on for a long time was gonna ask her out. She said this to me. Her then BF. One of my exes dumped me saying that he wanted to be like Paul from the Bible. I, a 14-year-old, wouldn't take her, a 14-year-old, virginity in a Burger King bathroom. Welcome to Ireland. My boyfriend broke up with me because he was moving away to go to puppet school. She thought I killed her horse. It wasn't actually her horse. With voodoo. It hung itself. Because I was jealous. It was a horse. I was dating a guy whose parents didn't like me. It was a long-distance relationship. And so we mostly chatted online but also made occasional phone calls. So we were talking on the phone. And at one point I said, "You shouldn't have to choose between me and your parents." The conversation continued. We decided to break up. We stayed friends. Something like 10 years later. We were talking online when the subject of our breakup came up. Turns out he thought I had said, "You should have to choose between me and your parents," and decided that he wasn't going to do that. I would never give someone that kind of ultimatum. That would be ridiculous. It blew my mind that a single misheard word caused us to break up. And we didn't realize it for 10 years. Not dumped, but shut down. I asked her out and she sort of freaked. Like, on a date? A date? Oh shit. I want to say yes. But I can't. Every time I've dated a guy the first liked we ended up hating each other. But I want to. But I can't. So, I know. You're my gay friend. I can't date you. Because you're gay. Awesome. I have a gay friend now. Oh shit. I'm late for class. Bye. I was like, what? What the fuck just happened? The other people of our social group were similarly confused. I wish I still had the text. Long story short, she was mad I didn't grab her ass. In public. On our first date. Can I do the most ridiculous reason I've had to dump someone? Starting dating this girl. She's like 29 with a master's degree. Really sweet and cute. So I'm excited about the potential. On our third date we were driving to a late-night event at a science museum and she asked what I was most excited about seeing and I said I've always enjoyed the dinosaur fossils and she said, "Oh," and got real quiet. After 5 seconds of silence I asked if she didn't like dinosaurs or something and she said, "It's not that. It's more than, well, I'm not sure how I feel about dinosaurs." Which led me to ask, by feel, you mean, you? And she said, "Well, I'm just not sure if they are real." I look over quizzically. She continues, "Like, they're not mentioned in the Bible. So I don't know if they existed." I tried to get through the night and to be fair there were some decent jokes. When we walked into the natural sciences wing there was a picture of Darwin on the wall and she said, "Hey look, there's your best friend." And later we were standing in front of a skeleton of a raccoon and I said, "So just to be clear, your position on raccoons is, yes, no, maybe?" She was a pretty nice girl and we had fun on the first 2 dates. So I tried to tough it out. But the dinosaur thing just ate at me for days. Like a week later I called her from the office and this was our conversation. Me. "Look, we gotta talk. I don't think this is going to work for me." 10 seconds of silence. Her. "It's the dinosaur thing, isn't it?" Me. Yeah. It's the dinosaur thing." Not me but one of my friends who's a senior in high school got dumped by her boyfriend who she dated for almost 2 years. He dumped her because he didn't want to go to the school dance. A few days later he texted her to tell her that he wanted to get back together but she declined. He could have just told her that he didn't want to go and still be her with her or just go to the stupid dance. I'm a Gemini. Actually had a guy dump me because I'm a carpenter. And according to him, it's just not ladylike. Edit. Didn't expect this to blow up like this. Thank you for the rewards. Wow gold. My first. When I was 12 we played spin the bottle and I made a kissy, mwah, sound before we kissed. An hour later she sent her best friend to my soccer game to break up with me. He dumped me because I cheated on him. In his dream. God told me not to date you. I'm sorry. And guess what? This happened twice. With 2 different girls. I said love you. She got mad I forgot the I. Dumped. Might be extreme. But on a first date. Girl asked me to go buy her popcorn literally as the movie started. So I did. Whispered as I was getting up. "You want butter on that?" Brought it back and she says, "Is there butter on this?" I said, "Yes." I asked and you said, "Yeah." And she said, "No." I specifically said, "Nah." I thought she was joking or something. It was like a Seinfeld bit. So I said, "Well, maybe this just isn't going to work out." And she said, "I think you're right. Thanks for nothing." And fucking left. But she took my popcorn. She should have thanked me for fucking that. Ugh. She wanted to focus on school. The next week she got with my friend. And then dumped him for the same reason. Apparently I gave her too much anxiety when I bought her a coffee that one morning and she broke up with me the same week. Edit. I gave her the drink in front of my locker in high school before class started. But I didn't buy her a coffee, it was a hot chocolate. Where I'm from in Canada getting someone a coffee can mean just any drink. I got her a hot chocolate cause she was a picky eater and didn't like coffee or tea. But I liked her and wanted to surprise her with a warm drink on that cold day. Apparently, we didn't come from the same planet? We were 14 and I wore a tank top for the first time in his presence. Turned out I had way more cleavage than he was comfortable with and he dumped me over the phone. A girl I dated texted me that I wanted a relationship and she's not really up for that right now. It was actually because she was taller than me and was afraid of what people would think. I met my wife a week later. I'm not ready for a relationship. I thought it was a bad time to bring that up since we were engaged and had been together for almost 2 years. Edit. Almost 9k fake internet points may be the best thing I've ever gotten out of a breakup. Guess it all works out in the end. 16 years after the fact. Some good has come out of this. On the surface, it sounded okay. My GF and I were kinda fizzling out. But when she dumped me, she said it was because I was not religious enough. She wanted to go to church every Sunday and for major religious holidays. I was okay with her going, but I was conflicted about religion at the time, so I didn't want to go. So that is what she said when she dumped me. Seems like a decent reason. What made it ridiculous is that about 6 months later, she was dating the president of the college atheist group.